Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. American Iva Jovic matches a Coco Gauff achievement at WTA 500 Guadalajara Open. 17-year-old Iva Jovic won the WTA 500 Guadalajara Open on Sunday. For those who have not seen her play or heard much about her, that's about to change. Jovic has been quietly going about her business this season and is going to be ranked world number 36 on Monday, September 15th, when the updated rankings come out. She's getting frightfully close to being seeded at the Australian Open, 32 seeds. If that is not enough, Jovic becomes the youngest American to win a WTA title since Coco Gauff in 2021. Jovic competed in juniors and won the 2024 Junior Australian Open and Wimbledon doubles titles with fellow 17-year-old Tyra Katarina Grant. At the time, Grant was competing as an American. As of 2025, Grant started competing as an Italian. She was born in Rome and has dual American and Italian citizenship. In September 2024, she was the second-ranked junior female singles player. Iva Jovic has made it to the second round of every Grand Slam in 2025 except for Wimbledon. In June, she won the WTA 125 Ilkley Open, defeating Canadian Rebecca Marino. Jovic is a native Californian born in Torrance to Serbian parents. She started playing tennis when she was 5 years old. At the Guadalajara Open trophy presentation, Jovic showed sportsmanship and maturity beyond her age when addressing Guadalajara Open finalist Emiliana Arango. Arango threw up during the match and was obviously under the weather. That could explain the classy and understated reaction after Jovic won match point. Rising in Guadalajara, Iva Jovic echoes a young Coco Gauff moment. In the mid-September light of Zapopan, Mexico, 17-year-old Iva Jovic stepped out onto hard courts at the WTA 500 Guadalajara Open Akron and quietly set the tennis world ablaze. With every swing, every respiratory pause, she carried not just a racket and a dream, but a legacy. For in winning her first WTA title, defeating Emiliana Arango 6-4, 6-1, Jovic didn't just collect a trophy. She matched a milestone set by another young American phenom, Coco Gauff. Publimetro, Mexico, +3. Reuters, +3. Reuters, +3. Mirrored moments, a young American trail. Coco Gauff has been one of those tennis players whose accomplishments mark chapters, not just matches. Among many achievements, she was one of the youngest American women in recent times to win a tour-level title. What Jovic has just done, becoming the youngest American to win a WTA title since Gauff in 2021. Reuters. What does this similarity mean beyond the obvious? It's not just about age or ranking. It is about timing, poise, belief, and seizing a moment when the pressure is heavy, the field strong, and the expectations uncertain. The Guadalajara run, grit, chance, and growth. Let's recall how Jovic's week unfolded. She entered the tournament ranked 73rd, not among favorites, certainly not seeded to lift the trophy. Reuters, +1. In the semifinals, she faced another teenager, Nikola Bardenkova, in a match that tested endurance, nerve, and resolve. Jovic dropped the second set in a tiebreak after leading, then recovered to take the third set 6-3 in a match that nearly touched 3 hours. Reuters, +1. In the final, she was dominant, closing out Arango 6-4, 6-1, building on her momentum and focus. Reuters, +2. Wikipedia, +2. From early in the tournament to the final point, her composure under pressure, her ability to bounce back after setbacks, her hunger showed. This is how legends must begin, not just by being talented, but by proving in moments of doubt that they belong. Why the Gauff comparison resonates. The world remembers Coco Gauff as a young star who broke through early, someone whose age was always a talking point, not because it was novel, but because she met challenges beyond what many expected of someone still in her teens. When Jovic accomplishes something similar, winning a WTA 500 event at 17, stepping into the top 50, being the youngest American to do so since Gauff, it invites comparisons not to duplicate a path, but to recognize the same fierce spark. Reuters, +2. Tennis 365, +2. But let's also remember the differences. Gauff's journey has included deep runs in Grand Slams, high-pressure matches early on, global spotlight. Jovic is now at a beginning, though a very luminous one. Her path forward is uncharted, full of possibility, but also challenge. In that way, the comparison is both flattering and a weigh-on. Expectations build quickly. What it means for Jovic, for American tennis, for the tour. For Jovic, this title catapults her. In rankings, confidence, in the perception of what she can do. Entering the tournament as number 73, earning her first WTA title, and rising toward the top 50. This shifts not only her resume, but the way opponents will see her, and the way she must now see herself. It suggests that she can contend in bigger tournaments, perhaps Grand Slams, and face top players without flinching. For American tennis, it rekindles a narrative. The emergence of young women who challenge older players make headlines not because they are unexpected, but because they are clearly ready. There's already a prestige and legacy that comes from names like Serena, Venus, Sloane, Coco, and if Jovic continues this trajectory, she may join in that elite company. This victory also opens up hope and inspiration for juniors watching, for coaches, for the entire development pipeline. That breakthroughs still happen with focus, opportunity, and belief. For the WTA Tour, every time a teenager wins a big event, the tour renews its magic. Stories of underdogs, of youth, of someone rising seemingly from nowhere are what capture hearts. The Guadalajara Open 2025 will now be remembered not just for its draw or its prize money, but for this electric moment when Iva Jovic claimed what Gauff once did, a breakthrough that signals not just a title, but a rival. The road ahead, what Jovic must do. To truly follow in Gauff's footsteps, or to carve a path entirely her own, Jovic will need more than this win. Here are some challenges and opportunities she'll face. Consistency under pressure. She showed it in Guadalajara. She will need to show it in bigger tournaments, in slams, in matches where every fan, every media outlet watches her. Physical and mental resilience. Long matches, travel, expectations. The body and mind must be managed well. Injuries, nerves, fatigue can derail even the most promising careers. Tactical growth. At the WTA 500 level, opponents are diverse. She'll face veterans, aggressive hitters, mental fighters. She must continue to refine her shot selection, adaptability, and strategic thinking. Handling expectations. When you win a title early, people will expect more. That can be inspiring or burdensome. Staying centered, grounded, sustaining passion without pressure will matter. Support and management, coaches, training, scheduling. Making sure her next tournaments are chosen wisely, so she builds ranking, confidence, and experience without overreaching too soon. Imagining the unseen, the future of Iva Jovic. Let's take a moment in imagination. Perhaps in 2 years, Jovic has won additional WTA titles and made the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam. The crowds remember her fight in match-point moments. She becomes a regular name in the second week of majors. At that point, people will look back to Guadalajara 2025 as that ignition, the day she realized she could not just compete but conquer. Maybe one day, her own run will surpass the comparison to Gauff, not because she wants to overshadow, but simply because she has built something uniquely hers. The beauty of sports is in these arcs. Sometimes they mirror, sometimes diverge, but each story is its own masterpiece. Conclusion: more than a match, a symbol. Iva Jovic's victory at the Guadalajara Open does more than add one name to the list of champions. It bridges a moment between generations. It shows that the promise seen in Coco Gauff wasn't a fluke, and that qualities like courage, composure, and belief are evergreen. It reminds us why we watch. In every match, there is possibility. In every young player, there is the chance of greatness. So yes, Jovic matched Gauff, in a statistical sense. Youngest American WTA title holder since Gauff. But more importantly, she matched the spirit of ambition, of resilience, of stepping into the spotlight when the stakes are high. And from here, the path forward is hers to define.